Welcome to Who the F***, the show that aims to take a deep dive into some of the bands announced at Reading and Leeds 2019. In today's video, we'll be looking at Post Malone. Post has been booked co-headline the slot on Saturday night. If you've never heard of Post Malone before, hopefully this video will help answer the question, who the F*** is Post Malone?
Every time I'm leaving on you, you don't make it easy, no. Wish I could be there for you, give me a reason to.
Austin Richard Post, aka Post Malone, was born in New York and grew up in Grapevine, Texas, United States of America. Wikipedia classes him as a rapper, and iTunes classes him as hip-hop and rap. On its most primitive and basic level, I think that's true, but I think there's a lot more going on with Post Malone. In my opinion, he's flying the flag for this emerging emo rapper scene, with acts like Trippie Redd and Juice WRLD and Lil Peep, R.I.P., who I think all kind of take influence from the emo scene of the mid-noughties. There seems to be a lot of emotion and kind of heartbreak in their songs. They're a little bit darker as well. It's a lot less about Gucci belts and more about heartbreak, which I think is really good. It has a lot more substance than a lot of the mumble rappers of last year. But I think Post's vocal style is actually, it reminds me significantly of people like Kurt Cobain, especially live.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be.
The backlash for that comment's going to be a fun one to deal with. In terms of his most popular record, his record Congratulations, which came out in January last year.
Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation.
He's currently sitting on 932 million views. But that's not my favourite record. It's a great record, but it's not my favourite. My favourite record is White Iverson, the song that made him famous.
Watch out, oh watch out, oh watch out, yeah. I smash out, I smash out, I smash out, yeah.
And it's currently sitting on 625 million hits. These statistics are crazy. I remember when I talked about this year's festival and I was talking about why Post had been booked. At that point, I mean, Rockstar had done a significant amount of views. It's no wonder that he got booked, but you know, to take it to nearly 1 billion views, you'd be mad not to book him. No wonder he's headlining. But White Iverson, for me, when I first heard it, I had this kind of guilty pleasure with it that I really, really liked. And I remember taking a look at him and going, what the f*** is that? But you know, I'd started watching a lot more interviews with him, and I thought that if I'm going to go to a festival and he's playing and I've got to have an opinion about him, then I should at least know more about what he has to say. And what I've come to the conclusion is that he's making music that he likes and he wants to hear, and he doesn't give a f*** what anyone else thinks about him, and I've got to respect that. That's punk rock, man. This year at Reading, I don't know about Leeds, but this year at Reading he played to a crowd that was bigger than anyone I've ever seen on the main stage before. Probably bigger than most headliners even. No wonder he's been brought back to top the bill in 2019. He released his debut album Stoney in 2016, and his follow-up Beer Bongs and Bentleys, great alliteration, came out in 2018. Let's look at some of his accolades. Gold in the UK, Mexico, Italy and France, platinum in Australia and Brazil, double platinum in Denmark and the US, triple platinum in New Zealand and Norway, and quadruple platinum in Canada. And you know what, going back to White Iverson, and White Iverson managed to reach quintuple platinum in the US. But bringing it back to Reading, the fact is, Post Malone isn't my favourite artist. I like some of his records, I think they're really good, I think he's a new sound, I think he's earned his space, and it's a very just space that he's there. Is his music going in a particularly favourable direction of mine? Not really, but I really like some of his bigger songs. I think Rockstar's great, Congratulations is brilliant, White Iverson is really cool. I like his music. I don't think it's you know, he's not someone I sit down and listen to, but I think he's all right. And to see him headline on 2 albums is an amazing achievement. So I'd like to catch at least a little bit of his set. I think it would be really foolish for me not to. So I'm going with 7 out of 10. But I think he may be clashing with Blossoms, who I also would quite like to see. So it's hard. I don't know. Let's see what happens when all the stages are announced properly. But currently, 7 out of 10. What about you? Is Post Malone someone that you're excited to go see? Will you be doing your best to avoid the main stage? Yeah, thoughts in the comment section below as always. And your thoughts on the 1975 are a really good one. So let's see what you have to say about Post Malone. Let me know in the comment section below. Cheers. Bye.
My mama calls, see you on TV. Sunset shit done changed ever since we were said I